Well, I think we need to listen to Iranian voices like Rana at the beginning of your programme, who said powerfully she's been waiting for this moment her entire life. We've seen the end of a brutal, murderous dictator. At the same time, though, I heard Rana say Iran is not free, and in fact the world is no safer. I thought that was quite an astounding interview you just had with the Defence Secretary. We've seen what I would say is an illegal and unprovoked attack. In fact, Jeremy Bowen, the BBC's own international editor, said this is a war of choice. So we've got a Defence Secretary saying that diplomacy is the long runway we need, but he won't condemn Donald Trump when he attacks a country and assassinates its leader. That's the law of the jungle. That's an end to international law, and it's quite astounding that we have a Prime Minister that seems to be singularly incapable of standing up to Donald Trump and letting the UK stand on its own 2 feet. And I'm worried we're going to be pulled into another illegal war.
But if you think these strikes were illegal and you've condemned them, what is your alternative?
Well, the alternative is to listen to the Iranian people and to make sure that we're doing everything we can to foster calm in the region, to encourage...
The Iranian regime didn't listen to its own people. It killed many of its own people who wanted a different government. So why do you think that the Iranian regime, or what's left of it this morning, would listen to Western governments when they haven't for decades?
Well, this is why we need de-escalation in the region, and we're already seeing the conflict spread even wider. I don't have an easy answer on how we make peace and diplomacy and democracy in the region, but I do know that there's no example in history where you've bombed people to democracy. Putting airstrikes for regime change has never led an example where a country is better off afterwards.
But you say that there should be negotiation, you should listen to the Iranian people. I would ask you again, what would your alternative be? Clearly, you don't like it, but Israel and America made the calculation, it seems, it's very clear. If what it took was strikes to end a repressive regime, it was worth it. So what would your alternative be?
Well, I don't accept the presupposition of the question. I don't think it took strikes, because actually Iran were already at the negotiating table. Under President Obama, we saw progress with Iran. Donald Trump took them to the negotiation table, but it was clear it was totally bad faith, because they literally murdered the leader at the same time they were at the negotiation table.
But that leader murdered many of his own people just weeks ago. And if you look at the pattern of Iran over the years, yes, there have been negotiations, but the International Nuclear Watchdog, for example, has upbraided and reprimanded Iran on many occasions for breaking its rules. Iran's been supporting Russia against Ukraine. Iran has planned plots in this country too. So what earthly evidence do you have that Iran would have said, oh, OK, actually, we'll listen to you this time?
Well, I'm here in no way to defend the Iranian regime. I'm here to defend and speak up for the Iranian people.
But the question is, why do you think that negotiation could have been an option here? What evidence do you have of that when it's failed for decades?
Because the moment you've ruled out negotiation, you've accepted that you're going to war. And I don't think the British people want to see another war in that region. So the question becomes, how do you make diplomacy and negotiation work? Now, what I know is negotiation was happening. Whether it was working or not is a legitimate question. But I don't think the answer can be, it's not working, so we're going to bomb and kill them. The answer has to be, how do we work harder to make it work?